One thing said in the narrative was that this is the largest budget, and that's true. The previous, back in 2008, that was referenced, I believe it was $103 billion. But we no longer calculate the same, so you can't compare apples to apples, because what you need to do is look at the 108, and then it's probably about another 8 to 10, $12 billion more on top of that, because we back some of the things out that we used to have in the general fund. So just keep that in mind. Think about $10 billion more when you're thinking about this in comparison to the past. But all things being considered, this is not a bad framework. It's not a bad budget framework. There are some bills that our caucus will vote for today and some that we won't. We agree with many items in your budget plan, like the additional funding for K-14 education and making headway by paying down $10 billion of the $340 billion wall of debt. Now, we'd like to have a bipartisan budget that we can all feel good about, but this is a backroom deal, frankly, negotiated by Democrats, with some things dropped in at the last minute that not even the Democrat members see in the committees. So many ask what Republicans would do if we were in the majority. A Republican budget would spend less on new government programs. It would pay off more of the existing budget debt and state liabilities. It would be more fiscally responsible, and we would make sure California does not return to the budget deficits and fiscal crises. We would have prioritized full enrollment growth for our UC and CSU campuses. We would have addressed the Medi-Cal provider rates to ensure access to care for millions of Californians. We would not propose to expand welfare grants and hand out cash cards to convicted drug felons. We would not continue to throw billions of dollars into the illegal high-speed rail scheme that could cost $100 billion. It's over budget, embarrassingly behind schedule, and the public doesn't support it. Instead, we would use those bonds for school buildings and to fix our crumbling transportation infrastructure. The biggest difference in priorities between Republicans and Democrats goes beyond the budget today. We want to restore California's shrinking middle class that is disappearing because of your policies that are creating a state of haves and have-nots. Every time one of your constituents complains about the higher taxes and housing prices they can't afford, remember that it's because of land use rules and permit costs that you voted for. The expensive gas and energy bills that eat up people's wallets are because of your rules, regulations, and lawsuits. We have the ability to fix these things, but you don't want to. You prefer to chase away middle-class jobs and opportunities for the less educated because you think everyone can go to work in Silicon Valley if they just have the right government program. You're enacting policies that make California unnecessarily expensive, drive people into poverty, and then propose new government programs to subsidize their life in poverty. Families in poverty today don't want another 5% in their welfare check. They want good jobs with benefits and opportunities for their children to do even better. So that's the real shame of this budget. It's a missed opportunity. That's what we would do differently.